Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. The anxiety around artificial intelligence taking over our livelihoods is, well, it's massive right now. Whether you're a fresh grad stepping into your first role or you've got decades of experience under your belt, we're all quietly asking the exact same thing. Is my job safe? So today we're looking at the hard data of exactly how AI destroy jobs across multiple industries. But more importantly, we're going to map out how you can actually navigate this massive economic shift and come out on top.
We have a lot of ground to cover, so here is our roadmap for today. First, history repeating itself. Second, the scale of displacement. Third, jobs in the crosshairs. Fourth, automation versus augmentation. And finally, surviving the AI transition.
All right, let's start with Section 1, history repeating itself.
Back in 1811, the Luddites who were smashing textile machines weren't just irrationally angry at progress. Honestly, they shared the exact same economic terror of lost income, displaced families, and obsolete skills as today's white-collar professionals. They didn't smash mechanical looms out of stupidity, they smashed them because those machines threatened their literal survival. So yeah, we have absolutely been here before. The primary difference today is simply the target. Instead of manual factory work, the AI revolution is coming straight for the office desk, completely shattering the long-held assumption that cognitive knowledge work is somehow safe from automation.
Moving to Section 2, the scale of displacement.
This disruption isn't some distant future event. It is actively happening right now. In 2025 alone, white-collar employment across the S&P 500 literally plummeted by 400,000. That was the first annual drop of its kind since 2016. And why are we seeing such a massive drop? Well, it's because giants like Oracle, Amazon, and Microsoft didn't just casually trim their budgets. They actively redirected their funds. Instead of traditional human hiring, they poured billions directly into hyperscale data centers and advanced chips. They are literally funding infrastructure instead of payroll, deliberately prioritizing automation over expansion. The global reach of this technology is staggering. The International Monetary Fund reports that 40% of all global employment is exposed to AI. But here's the crazy part. When you look at advanced economies, that number suddenly spikes to 60%. Why? Because developed nations rely incredibly heavily on data-intensive knowledge work. When your entire economy is built on analyzing spreadsheets, writing reports, and processing information on screens, that workforce is actually far more vulnerable to the immediate capabilities of generative AI. Looking ahead to 2030, experts estimate that 92 million jobs worldwide could be completely replaced due to AI and labor market shifts. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. 92 million. That is a number larger than the entire population of Germany. Roughly 8% of today's total global workforce could simply vanish from the organizational chart or face complete restructuring over the next few short years. Now, if you think those forecasts are just speculation, listen to what corporate leaders are actively planning today. An incredible 99% of executives expect AI-linked workforce cuts within the next 2 years. We saw nearly 78,000 tech jobs cut in just the first half of 2025 alone, tied to AI adoption. Over in finance, Wall Street banks are projecting 200,000 role cuts in the next 3 to 5 years. And this is a clear example of how AI destroys jobs in the real world. Banks aren't just firing people arbitrarily. They are deploying sweeping algorithms to instantly handle the compliance, parsing, and back-office data entry that hundreds of thousands of junior analysts used to do. Let's look at Section 3, jobs in the crosshairs. You might logically assume that highly paid senior staff would be the very first targets for corporate cost-cutting, right? Well, the data reveals the exact opposite. Rather than seasoned veterans, it's entry-level workers and fresh graduates, specifically those aged 22 to 27, who are taking the absolute hardest hit. Why? Because the routine, predictable tasks they historically rely on to build experience, like drafting summary reports or basic coding, are the absolute easiest things for AI to automate. This literally breaks the traditional apprenticeship model of corporate life. There is also a severe demographic divide here. 79% of employed U.S. women work in high-risk jobs compared to 58% of men, largely because of a higher historical representation in administrative and office support roles. Zooming in on the IT sector specifically, the impact is huge. Data entry clerks focused on IT face a staggering 55% displacement rate. Level 1 tech support faces a 38% displacement rate. This exposes exactly how AI destroys jobs on the help desk. When a generative AI can instantly pull knowledge base articles, understand the context of your broken laptop, and just autonomously resolve the basic query, the human operators who used to frantically handle those routine tickets are rapidly replaced. Section 4,
Automation versus augmentation. Before we completely declare the end of human labor, we need to grasp a really critical nuance in the data. We have to separate task automation from job displacement. Automation is when AI replaces a worker's entire role. That's where the massive job losses happen. But augmentation? That is when AI takes over specific, routine tasks within your job, like summarizing a massive 100-page document in 3 seconds, which actually frees you up to engage in complex, creative problem-solving. Consider this great case study of John from PwC's analysis. John was a customer support agent who used to spend 8 hours a day doing rote, robotic work, like resetting passwords and pasting links to shipping policies. Very repetitive stuff. He lost those routine ticket answering duties to a chatbot. That part of his job was automated, but his overall role was augmented. His company shifted his focus entirely to de-escalating tense, complex, highly nuanced customer issues. Now he spends his day using genuine human empathy to retain high-value clients who are upset. He moved from being a stressed-out query handler to a highly valued, empathetic problem solver. There's a brilliant quote from Matt Wood at PwC that perfectly captures this whole dynamic. He says, AI amplifies expertise. It doesn't replace your ability to think. It makes you a better thinker. It doesn't replace your ability to solve problems. It makes you a better problem solver. This is it right here. AI is fundamentally shifting our relationship to our work. We are transforming from being rote task doers into high-level editors, strategists, and empathetic communicators. Which brings us to our final section, surviving the AI transition. Despite the heavy losses of those 92 million jobs we discussed earlier, the future isn't entirely bleak. The World Economic Forum actually predicts AI will help generate 170 million new roles globally by 2030. When you do the math, that results in a net global gain of 78 million jobs. The work isn't just vanishing, it is drastically changing its shape. While legacy administrative roles are shrinking, we are seeing massive upward trajectories in highly technical areas. Fields like data science, cybersecurity, and cloud engineering are expected to absolutely explode over the next few years. The massive corporate demand is shifting rapidly toward these specific skills needed to build, maintain, and protect these vast new AI ecosystems. Furthermore, a whole new ecosystem of jobs is appearing almost overnight. Look at these incredible growth rates. Prompt engineers are up 65%. Data curators, the people meticulously cleaning and structuring the digital fuel for these models, are up 45%. And AI ethics officers, the professionals ensuring these models don't leak intellectual property or violate laws, are up 50%. These emerging roles are paying premium salaries for humans who can train, govern, and effectively communicate with complex AI systems. Right now, there is a severe talent gap happening across the global workforce. Companies are experiencing critical talent shortages. They are absolutely desperate for people who possess a mix of deep, specialized industry expertise alongside basic, functional AI fluency. If you can bridge that gap, if you know your industry inside and out, and you know how to prompt an AI to make your workflow faster, you become incredibly, undeniably valuable to any organization. So, what is your ultimate survival strategy? You must lean heavily into the exact things algorithms cannot do. Your true human edge lies in abstract thinking, interpersonal interaction, adaptability, and your ability to make sound judgments under deep uncertainty. AI can process massive amounts of historical data in a millisecond, but humans? We build trust, we negotiate nuance, and we navigate ambiguity. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. The technology itself might not take your job, but a professional who has learned to master and leverage that technology almost certainly will. It's time to adapt. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I'll see you next time.